Now, one of the things that I super dug, man, that you did for the culture was when Old Dirty Bastard got out of jail. You gave him a shot. I'm still hoping one day I'll log on to iTunes and see that Dirt McGirt, Ason Unique album online. Um,
Uh,
and I got my hands on a bootleg, but like I respectfully would buy it if the opportunity presented itself. Are y'all just keeping that in the vaults the one day, or is this just never gonna come out?
well, what had happened was every time I tried to put it out, Old Dirty's, I guess, ex-wife would have them sue or threaten to sue whoever was going to distribute it for reasons that I don't understand. And then, they would just like get scared. So that was the reason why it hasn't come out. I had the Black Keys getting ready to produce the whole album because, the music was kind of old and I was going through some remixes and stuff. And, just could never work it out. These lawyers have taken advantage. And that's another light that I want to shine is that lawyers, they're the ones that will rob you and make you waste time and make you pay for them and do what's in their agenda before yours. And it's really been more her lawyer just every time just keeping them in court and leveraging and probably just killing their whatever his legacy is as it relates to profit. Like every time they make a dollar, I'm sure they got to pay legal fees, and I'm sure that's just the way the lawyers want it. And it's been like 12 years. I don't see why these people haven't learned, but I think you'll see it. Me and Reza actually been talking, but we'll see what happens.
Yo, that Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Macy Gray. That song got me out of
Yeah.
some dark days. It's one of those songs you listen to, it makes you feel good.
Oh yeah, no, that was dope. Macy's my homegirl. I haven't seen her in a while. And Damon Elliott, Dionne Warwick's son, actually produced that record.
Oh man, there's blessings all around it. So also in the movie Honor Up, you got your cousin Stacey Dash, who a lot of people kind of like have things to say about just because of a slant with politics. Like, do you catch a lot of blowback sometimes just because people know her and can get a word to her?
First off, she's my cousin, my
Mm-hmm.
blood cousin. That's number one. And second, if I do hear any kind of blowback, I don't hear it. You know what I'm saying? I understand people's apprehensions, but this is America, and people are allowed to have a perspective and a point of view. Just because you don't support them doesn't mean you can't work with them. And that's the difference also between our cultures is because we let any little thing make it where we'll just not talk to somebody. But how many people got that family member that doesn't have the same opinions as you, that talks the dumb shit at the dinner table at Thanksgiving, but if somebody came to do something to him, you would jump in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because
So,
at the end of the day, it's blood.
yeah, so I hate the fact, I think it's a test. You can't just say just because someone doesn't agree and they're from your culture that you don't mess with them. That's just the same thing. We got to stop separating each other. She can have an opinion and she can sound silly, but she's my cousin, so, and she does things that I don't agree with. But, I'm still, our last names are still the same, and I'm going to showcase that publicly as well. Yeah, as family, you're supposed to stick together regardless. She didn't rape nobody. She hasn't snitched. She just has had an opinion, and she's power. As it relates to that, it doesn't do nothing. So I don't really. There's no blowback. People talk, but shit, I'm used to that.
Of course. So the Grammys just took place over the course of the weekend. A lot of things happened. Kendrick Lamar walked out of there with 6 trophies. Jay-Z was nominated for 8. Are you surprised at the turnout? Like, with Kendrick sweeping everything?
I mean,
Or do you because a lot of
I
people
think
feel like Jay-Z was robbed and didn't get what he should have got because he's independent. He's an owner, and people don't like to see, independents win at that level because it sends the wrong message to the upper establishment.
I mean, I would think just because it's rap, a rap is usually a younger man's game, and right now, currently, regardless of what, Kendrick Lamar is the best. And he does the best performance, and he does the most for hip hop. So I'm not going to say that Jay don't deserve it. What I'm going to say is that Kendrick Lamar did. So it just must be a bad year for an older guy in rap to be nominated so much. But it is a younger guy's sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you?
Even though Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? But if he loses, you always be able to say, "Yo, it's because he's 40." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's a younger guy's sport. It is what it is. But again, Kendrick Lamar. Maybe if it wasn't Kendrick Lamar, you could say that, but it is Kendrick Lamar.
True. Now, would you ever think in a million years, though, when you guys started that, he would still be out there doing what he's doing, though? Like, at that level?
No, I didn't. I didn't because since day one, he was quitting. But I guess it was obvious he didn't want to make money with all of us. He wanted to make it on his own.
When's the last time y'all built it?
A couple of years ago.
Okay. So not as tense as it was when y'all first split, I imagine, right?
When was it ever tense, besides what everyone was saying? Has anybody seen us be tense?
Not in public, but like the media takes things and they run with it, and people
Well,
make their
they
own.
don't like to see two black businessmen thriving. So, when they see two black people doing good, if they, let's say, don't do business together anymore, then they want to make it like two black people had a fight. And black people be the one that talk about it the most, which is crazy.
Nah,
So,
facts.
it's this self-hatred thing that we have for each other that's crazy, and we don't give each other enough credit. And we don't think that we can do certain things. So everything has to be a beef, but they're all contrived and they're all promoted because it separates us, just like what's happening now in politics in our country. We all know division is the best way to conquer somebody.
Like, could you ever
Or,
see
or,
yourself
or,
getting into politics?
nah, I've done too much.
So look at
I have
look at
the
the
thing
guy
about
who's
politics.
actually president, though.
Yeah, but look at why he's had to do and talk to some very dark people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do all that to be president. You know what I'm saying? I think I could do more without being president. What I noticed is the president, he has an opinion, but I don't see that he could do too much. At the end of the day, it's Congress has to pass these laws. And even when he does say something federally, the rest of the states don't seem to listen to him. So it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So all he's doing is shaking up shit, period. And, again, if we don't agree with what he's doing, I think what's going on right now is a testament to that the system does kind of work, because someone could get elected and he could say a bunch of craziness, but every law that he tries to pass generally just doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah. You definitely gotta have everybody on your side. That's why Barack Obama had such a tough time. He got a lot of stuff done, but he was met with opposition at every turn. And I think
He's supposed to.
this whole two
Or
party system got to it needs an overhaul.
I mean, I think what happens is people need to understand the system, really. It just takes time, and you got to be patient. I'm not saying it's the best system, but, when you compare it to the rest of the world, I think, just because of the fact that on an independent level, I've been able to be so successful despite all the prejudices and all the fight and all this other stuff. I'm still having a great life, and my children are still living good. So to me, America can't be that bad. And no matter where you're at, not everyone's going to agree on the law, period. But as long as there's freedom and you can earn, that's really all that counts. As long as you can do what you want, make your choices, I'm not really dependent on nothing that the government gives me. So I don't really look at it like that. I look like I'm the president in my house. I make my money. I do tax cuts and the economy budgets and all that other stuff, and I make the laws. So in order to do those things, you got to be a boss, have your own business, and have your own house, and then you'll be the president of your own world.
There it is. Well, yo, Dame, man, we appreciate your time and energy. Can't wait to actually get you in the studio one day. But the movie is
Well, let me just say one thing
Go for
real
it, bro.
quick. So I partnered up with Lionsgate and Grindstone, and as of yet, we might have a whole nother story going on if things don't work out. But I'm not that. I'm just, the racism in television and in the movie business has got to stop. And there has to be respect for our culture. So if there is I respect all the moments that are going on, but there needs to be in these movies, as I'm seeing it, and the reason why I did it myself is because the prejudice is real out there, and the way they focus on black people is crazy, and the way they target is crazy. But if we don't work some things out, we're going to have another moment. I'm going to tell you that right now, and I hope Grindstone is listening.
All right, this ain't going to affect the movie coming out on February 16th, is it?
It's definitely coming out February 16th.
Okay, cool.
The only way it should affect it is the fact that more people should go see it. Because I'm going to bring attention to the movie some way or not, But if I go and get with a bigger situation, I'm expecting a bigger situation. I don't want to be promoting the people I already know how to. I go someplace. So, if I want to conquer another world, I'm not going to get with, I don't need to preach to the converted. I need people to help me expand, and not just exploit my culture.
Well, yo,
But
man.
I'm aggravated. I'm aggravated in this moment. But hopefully I'll feel a little better in a minute. But if I don't, catch me in about 2 weeks after the movie come out.
Eyes
We'll
will
have
be
a whole
peeled.
nother. We'll have a whole nother movie coming out.
Well,
And a lot of names will be
if you
called
need
out.
a megaphone to yell through, man, we'll help you amplify your voice a little louder too.
I got the. I appreciate it, but I'll definitely have a meg. I just distribute it for me. Let the message know we need to stick together, man. We got to create our own industry. We got to stop depending on others to help us. We got to help out. We got to help ourselves. If they don't, I don't want to be in nobody's house. I got to live by their rules. I got to be in my own.
I hear that, man. Well, yo, listen. Down by Law, you got to see this movie, Honor Up. It's coming out February 16th, available in theaters and on demand the exact same day. One time for the legendary Dame Dash.